today's episode, we're going to be comparing the Evercade EXP with the original Evercade. Now it's blatantly obvious that this is not Digital Foundry, so my findings are arguably subjective and down to personal preference. But what I am going to do in this video is compare side by side features, various other things like sound, screen, you know, small things like that. Actually, they're pretty big things because one of these packs a punch, but one of them was quite surprising in one of the particular areas. But let's take a look at my comparisons and then we'll come back and we will conclude and we will draw our findings together. Let's bounce. Side by side, it's clear to me that the EXP does look so much sleeker. I said it in my review of this, that this crystal white finish really does look gorgeous compared to this very, you know, average, more kind of like an 80s feel to it. I also like the buttons better on this as well. It feels more in tune with something like the Nintendo Switch. A little bit more of a sleek finish. Again, with the comparative Evercade buttons that just, I don't know, there's just something that doesn't look as clinical. So now if we lay them both down, you can see that there is a massive shape difference with this kind of little weird divot here. I guess that's more for the ergonomics, so when you hold it here, it might feel a bit more snug in your palm. Whereas here, it is completely, I guess, more in tune again with a Nintendo Switch. It's pretty obvious as well that there's a little bit more going on under here. You've got the USB-C charging port, the volume rocker, this is the light, the T, which is the Tate mode, allows you to play your games vertically, and the 3.5mm headphone jack. Here, we have the USB-C charging cable. In fact, it's not even USB-C, I stand corrected, it's just the micro USB charging cable, volume rocker, and the headphone jack 3.5mm. For me, and of course we've got the speakers either side here. I just think this looks so much nicer, as you can see side by side, but you guys can make your own decisions on what you think of the actual look and aesthetics yourself. So flipped the other way around, there's not a lot in it here. If we take a close-up on the actual height, you can see that the EXP is slightly smaller. Again, just adding to that sleek gorgeousness. On the top here we have the micro HDMI, we have the on-off switch, and of course the cartridge port L1, L2. On the normal, the first Evercade, again we just have the L1 or left and right triggers rather. Again, you've got the on-off switch, which is an actual switch compared to a button on this release. I actually prefer the switch, to be fair. And of course the micro USB HDMI cord cable port. So not a lot in it there. Again, the EXP does take it. It just seems a little bit more gorgeous. And of course the elephant in the room, we cannot play Tate mode on this, we can on this. I'm not gonna lie, for me Tate mode is more of a redundant feature. I'm not a huge fan of vertical shoot 'em up games. I much prefer the kind of comfort of you know, playing horizontally rather than vertically, but you can play your vertical shooters in horizontal mode and on full screen, which still does give you a really good experience. But I know a lot of people out there really do enjoy the Tate mode. So now we're going to take a look at the screens, and in the Evercade we have the Bitmap Brothers Collection 1 cartridge, and for the EXP we're just going to have the default 18 games. Now this is very interesting because with the light on, it's very difficult to tell the difference between the screen brightness. They both have a 4.3-inch screen that's gone to sleep, but of course the EXP does have the IPS backlit screen. This has a backlit screen, but it's just not IPS. So I'm actually going to turn the light out so you can see the difference in a bit more depth. And with the light off, it's as crystal clear that the EXP looks so much brighter. And this actually has a blue tint to it. It's very difficult to pick up on the camera. But again, this IPS screen does look absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice. But we'll do a side-by-side comparison with the lights off. So I can wholeheartedly confirm that as much as the camera doesn't pick it up, this looks so much better. Obviously we played the same game. We're going to take a listen to the sound now. We're going to use the same game. Obviously we're going to try it on this first, and then we'll try the EXP. I'm going to utilize this with middle of the ground volume, so medium volume, and you guys can take a listen. So the obvious differences between these two things is I think this for me is so much more kind of in finesse mode. I really like the white sleek finish. I love the buttons that are reminiscent of the Nintendo Switch compared to the clumpy, almost ugly looking buttons, the A, B, X and Y buttons on the original Evercade. So I think for me this definitely, in terms of looks and what it has to offer, particularly around its Tate mode, whether you love or hate it, this is definitely the more versatile handheld device out of the two. Now note that I only use these in handheld mode. We didn't do any on the television comparisons because I didn't want to. I think if you're going to play an Evercade, I'm not going to sit there in front of a TV or a monitor and play this on the TV. In my reviews of this and this, I demo the games. I demo every game on this. I did that recently and you can go and check that out. I will link it in the cards, I'll link it on the end screen, and I'll link it in the description for your easy to find viewing pleasure. Now I actually felt surprised. I said in the introduction that one of these packs a bit of a surprise, and for me the Evercade sounds really good. Yes, this does sound ever so slightly crisper, but this actually sounds really good. I expected a lot less in terms of performance from the original Evercade in my testing. Now, if you're on a bit of a budget, the Evercade might be for you as it's significantly cheaper. I'll put everything in the description in terms of pricing, what this was at launch and what this is at launch, so you can again go and make up your own minds. But for me, the Evercade EXP, it is the superior handheld. And I think a lot of you guys that clicked may have guessed that going into this. But you know, Tate mode, looking better. I really like the sleeker looking buttons, like the volume, the sounds. The IPS backlit screen is obviously a no-brainer, but I think this is a great budget console for people that don't want to spend as much money. So thank you very much for watching. I really enjoyed doing that. Again, I got these units for free, so no monies were exchanged. I don't make any money and they didn't even ask me to do this video. I thought it would be a cool video to do. As handheld retro gaming is well into the forefront. Look at the Switch, look at how, you know, we've got the Switch Lite, you can take it anywhere, and of course the DS family as well. Handheld gaming is a massive portion of the market, love it or hate it. For me, I definitely do prefer my console culture over the handheld stuff. But when I go away or I'm laying in bed chilling, the Switch for me is amazing. And of course now the Evercade EXP is well up there as well. And I'm really excited because lots of new things are coming with a specific Amiga cartridge as well. Yes, we have some Amiga games like Speedball and whatnot. I think it's Speedball 2, but we've got an exclusive Amiga batch of games coming, so that's going to be interesting as well. Be doing more stuff with the Amiga on that EXP. So if you found this useful, or you really like two cats on my t-shirt mimicking the amazing scene from Titanic, please leave a like, rating and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care guys, cheers. I need a few seconds of your time to tell you about channel memberships. If you guys want to become a channel member, click join from the main page or the second link in the description. There are 3 tiers, all with different perks for you if you want to become a team member. Thanks for your time. Let's continue with the video.